Hello Musers, and welcome to another episode of the Musecast podcast. I'm your host, Lucia, and yes, I'm recording this intro on my phone. Don't worry, the rest of the podcast is not going to be on my phone. The only reason I'm doing it on my phone is I'm trying to get this out as fast as possible because you have waited long enough for a new episode. I did make a video, like an I'm sorry video, talking about why it's been a long time since I've uploaded really anything on this channel. So if you want to see why, just watch that so I don't have to repeat everything in this intro. But I'm excited for you guys to watch this episode or listen to it. Preferably watch it. I think it's better to watch it. But I basically had a friend of mine who is a really funny person. He's a comedian and he's also very talented. He's a musician. He studied music. And I had him listen to Absolution for the first time. He is familiar with Muse. He wouldn't consider himself really like a muser, but he has heard of them. He's heard some of their songs, but he hasn't really heard of like Absolution, like the entire album as a whole. So I wanted to show it to him and just get his thoughts on it. So that's what this episode is showing somebody who has not listened to Absolution, you know, the album for the first time, because I wanted to celebrate the 20th anniversary of this album. This episode was actually was actually recorded last year. Scratch that, never mind. I actually double checked and I actually recorded this episode in October 2021. So 2 years ago. Yeah. So I was ahead of the game, but it just took me forever to edit because of stuff that happened. So it's coming out kind of late now. So yeah, but at least it's going to be out. Now, obviously for copyright reasons, I'm not able to show the songs in their entirety while he's listening to them. So that's why on some songs you might hear nothing, others you might hear like 2 seconds of it. So now you'll know why. So, but he does offer like commentary and his thoughts after. I also included some like behind the scenes, which you guys might have already seen through the Absolution documentary, but I included that in this episode for my friend to be able to like kind of have a better idea of the recording of the songs. So I think it makes it for like a fun episode because he not only listens to the album for the first time, but he also gets to see some of the behind the scenes, and I think it helps him, and I think me, you know, appreciate the album a little bit better once you know like what goes into it. And I love seeing behind the scenes stuff like that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this episode of somebody who has never listened to Absolution, listen to it in its entirety for the first time. All right, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Hi, Parker.
Hey, what's up?
Thanks for coming on the podcast. So if you want to tell the musers, we call each other musers. I have a Muse shirt on here. So if you want to let the musers know a little bit about your music background and, you know, why it would be good to have you on here.
Cool. I think I'm kind of like I'm not quite a muser, but maybe after this I will be, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have like my picks of stuff that I like, but there's a lot of Muse stuff that I haven't heard, which I think we're going to listen to today. But I majored in music. Like I have a Bachelor of Arts, majored in piano. I know that the lead singer of Muse plays piano as well. It's one reason I really like the music. I actually got into Muse when I was in college, like studying music in college. So do you remember what Muse stuff you were listening to then? Well, I mean, I know all the greatest hits. Like I listened to Hysteria.
Okay, that's on this album. All right.
Mm-hmm, okay, and Newborn has one of my favorite guitar riffs ever.
Right.
But apart from those two songs, I really haven't heard so much.
Awesome. And one of the reasons I thought you would be good to have listen to this album is because this one has a lot of classical music influences, and you're really into classical music, right? Yeah, I love classical music, romantic music. I think I read somewhere that the lead singer of Muse, what's his name? Matt Bellamy.
I think I heard that he was like influenced by Rachmaninoff.
Yeah.
So, which is a romantic composer that I like. So.
Yeah. All right. So, I guess we'll get into some quick facts about Absolution, which is Muse's third album. There are, I believe, 14 tracks. There's some like short ones. There's an intro, and then there's an interlude, and then there's a Japanese bonus track, which is Fury, so it's like more like 15.
Cool.
So yeah, it was recorded in 2003. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it was that long ago. And, written by Matt Bellamy, Dominic Howard, Christopher Wolstenholme, basically all the members. Produced by John Cornfield, Rich Costey, who has worked with them before, and Radiohead as well. So,
Ooh.
the people I like compare them, that could be one reason why.
Another band I haven't heard enough of.
Oh, okay. It was released in September 29, 2003 in Great Britain, and the US was released, I guess, later on. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I think I have the dates wrong. Probably gonna cut that part out. So these songs mostly were written while Muse was touring in support of Origin of Symmetry and Hullabaloo. And like Origin of Symmetry, this album, Absolution, was influenced by classical composers such as Sergei Rachmaninoff and Samuel Barber, while Endlessly, one of my favorite ones. Well, I don't know, I love so many on this album. And that one has a more electronic sounds, and the small print and thoughts of a dying atheist are more guitar led. So according to Matt Bellamy, he said their first album was more of teenage angst. Their second album, Origin of Symmetry, was more about going on tour all the time and losing connection with our family and friends. So we don't really know anyone apart from ourselves, and even ourselves we didn't know anymore. And Absolution is more about us being personable, about us being normal people at home. And he also said that he started to experience violent mood swings in the studio. He said the album goes from being the most amazing music I've heard in my life to the most laughable piece of shit I've ever heard. Within the space of a couple of minutes, I was moving between the extremes of doubt and absolute ridiculous confidence. There are moments when you, the rest of the band, the producer, and the assistant producer all look at each other and think, what the F are we doing? We've completely lost the plot.
Oh man.
So
gosh, that sounds awful.
So definitely experienced some manic states during this production of this album. He said that the songs on here are actually more uplifting mostly because he has fallen in love. And he said at the time, I'm not married yet, but I've been drawn into this Italian world, because he was at the time engaged to an Italian woman. So you can definitely tell, like, especially compared to like maybe like Origin of Symmetry, there's definitely a little bit more. You can tell he was in love. Okay, you can just tell by the songs.
Okay.
All right. But not all of them. Okay, not all of them. They're not all romantic songs. That's one thing I like about Muse. It's like not all their songs are about love. Is a lot of artists like that. That's all they talk about in their music is love, 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 love. And I'm just like, okay, I don't want to only hear about that. So
yeah,
Muse definitely,
That's one of the things that jumps out to me about Muse too, especially about the atheist stuff. It's actually a subject that I'm like really interested in, and it draws me into their lyrics a lot.
Oh, cool. Yay. And we're almost done here. So it was recorded at Grouse Lodge Studios in Ireland and Air Studios in London. And Fury and Soldier's Poem was originally intended to appear on Absolution, but Fury was dropped in favor of the small print. Because Dom and Chris preferred the small print instead. So Fury became a bonus track, and then Soldier's Poem actually ended up on the next album, Black Holes and Revelations. And the album has gone platinum in the UK and has been certified gold in the US. And the artwork is really, really cool. It was designed by Storm Thorgerson. He actually did their next cover for Black Holes and Revelations, and he worked for Pink Floyd. He did the cover for Pink Floyd, the one with the guys shaking hands, I think. I forgot the name of the album. But every Muse fan who's listening to this, I don't really have to describe the artwork. But basically, Dominic, the drummer, sought out the artist, and he, contacted him about working on the album cover. He said, "We met with Dom and agreed that we should try and render our pencil sketch as a real event. Shadows of flying people spread across the ground as if cast by a squadron of flying craft, magical beings swooping over the earth to the amazement of the viewer on the ground looking up. It is as though he is witnessing some magical Some mystical event, a visitation of strange beings which can only be inferred by us, the viewers of the picture, because all we see are shadows, whereas the viewer of the picture sees them for real, gliding serenely overhead. He's deeply moved and experiences a kind of absolution as one might in the presence of such a miraculous sight. So I'm going to see if I can bring it up here. I don't know if Parker has seen the artwork. This is the artwork. I don't know if can you see it?
Oh yeah.
So these like kind of flying people were on these like sticks flying, like they were like really high up. So yeah, and I actually got to see them in person. It was kind of accidental. Like I was in San Francisco. Yeah, I was in San Francisco, and they had an exhibit for this artist, Storm Thorgerson. And I was like, I just walked by. I didn't even know it was happening. I just walked by and I'm like, oh my gosh, the artist that did the Muse artwork. And they actually had those like the cutouts that they used for the silhouettes. They had them in the gallery. I was like, oh my gosh. And I wanted to buy one because I'm like, this was used for the artwork, but it was really expensive. So I'm like, dang it, I can't afford it right now. It's so sad.
How much is it?
But, it was close to $1,000. That's
donate to our Patreon.
Oh my gosh.
Ionice is gonna put the link below.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
One of those cutouts for your birthday.
That was a while ago. It's not available.
It would look great on your wall behind you. One of those cutouts.
Oh, I wanted one so bad. They're really big though. But yeah, so I thought it was like, it was so cool. It was like such a cool coincidence. It just happened to be walking by and I saw that. I'm like, oh my gosh. At least I got to see it in person. So yeah. All right, cool. Everyone. So it's time to go into this intro. It's really short. And also, just to let you know, anyone who's watching, listening, I'm going to be showing some like behind the scenes clips and stuff because since we're going through the album, I think it'd be cool to kind of see, a little bit about how it was made. There is a whole like little documentary about it. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but also just like for Parker. And I think it's just cool to see how artists, come up with stuff in the studio. Usually, it's an intro and then it goes into the second track, Apocalypse Please, which I guess maybe it's the first track, whatever. So I'll play them like one. There's going to be a little bit of a break, but yeah, I'll play them one right after the other because that's how you're supposed to listen to it. So let's start with the intro and hopefully this works. So it's just stomping.
Okay, that's what that was. I was trying to figure it out. Like, what kind of
it took a while.
Crazy drum is that? Yeah.
And feel free to like say anything during the track. I feel it's a little apocalyptic.
Yeah. Do. That is the introduction to Absolution. Oh, that kind of rhymed a little bit. It's so good.
Yeah. Like, you don't have to lie.
It was no, it's awesome. I kept like imagining, like if I was gonna use music for like a trailer for like some epic, like sci-fi flick, I would definitely like that would be in the running. There's so much like working together there. Like there's like the composition of the song itself. Which is just like he's got these really cool like tonal shifts happening. You can tell he knows his like chord progressions. There are a couple parts like they pop out at you. Plus the bassist is like awesome. So they just have like a sick bassist.
Yes.
And drums is my first love too. So like the drums are like doing something too. Like the drums are doing so much work to like really ramp up. He does a great job of like taking his time and knowing when to like really come in and rock out, which is I get amped up. Awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about them. It's like individually they're all amazing, like the members, and then just like when they come together, it's like, oh, that's
yeah. And they got that they got the electronic and aural sounds going on too.
And just so you know, the bassist nickname he has, his last name is Wolstenholme, but some of us we call him Wolsten Beast because he's kind of like
Beast.
he's not like he's very tall and he's just like kind of big guy, and so because he's just like amazing, we're like Wolsten Beast. Whoa.
Is that like sometimes I think like there's if you're like a big person, like you're at some point you get if you're a musician and you're a big person, you get pressured into becoming a bassist. I think it's like what happens. Like I think that plays into it. I don't know.
Well, actually, Matt Bellamy, the lead singer, he played piano. Obviously, that was the first instrument he played, and then he started playing guitar. And the drummer actually taught him guitar, and then the bassist actually used to be a drummer for another band. But then they got him to join Muse, and then he became a bassist. So they all kind of know how to like play different instruments, which is really cool. So yeah. And now,
very talented people.
Yes. And I'm going to show a little behind the scenes of like the making of the intro and Apocalypse Please. So it actually shows a little bit about like the drums and stuff like that. So
that's how they did it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's the bassist and the drummer playing the drums. And
that's what I envisioned.
That one originally
giant
had the voice on it, but we ended up taking it away because it was too much. But there was 2 other songs on the album that have got strings on, and I met this woman, a lady from England, called Audrey Wiley, and together we wrote the strings. And it's something I wanted to just to experiment and just to see if I was able to collaborate with someone else on writing strings, which was really interesting. And the songs that I've used them in are not heavy guitar songs. They're mostly piano-based songs. And I think the piano and the strings are made to go together. When you hear a piano going and the strings going together, it's just like the one like balances the other perfectly.
I agree, Matt. Yes, piano and strings.
Those last 3 chords coming together.
Yeah, so that's how they did a lot of work on the drums, and I thought it was cool how he was in the pool. Did you see that part?
No, I missed it.
Oh yeah, there was like a clip. Where is it? Oh, right here. He's in the pool and hitting.
Sorry,
the drums.
I got distracted by the bass drums. I didn't notice he was in a pool. Why is he in a pool?
I don't know, like some maybe vibration thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if it like the sound like smacks off of the water in like a certain way or something like that. They use this technique to make a certain effect. That's so awesome. Like there's so much that goes into that just awesome drum sound at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I thought that was cool that Matt Bellamy said that he kind of wanted to see if he could like collaborate with someone to write the string part. So that's one thing I love about them. They're not egotistical. Like they, because a lot of other lead singers and stuff are like, I'm the best, blah, blah. I don't need anyone. And he's like, no. And I mean, at that time they were like early 20s, I think. So they're pretty, I think pretty mature to be able to do that. So
yeah. You usually see the opposite, people, kind of using the feeling of confidence when it really hasn't been earned. But I think that's kind of what I like about the lyrics as well. Like you kind of get that there's some thought there. I think in any kind of like deep thought, you have to have some doubt,
Mm-hmm.
I think doubt actually plays a big role in kind of uncovering tough ideas.
So in terms of like them using the pool, Rich Costi, one of the producers, he said, the studio had a swimming pool, which of course was full of water. And what we did was bring over a couple of kick drums, put them on stands and mic'd one of them really close with the disembodied woofer of an NS10 to get a low thumping sound, while a few C12 ambient mics were placed in the swimming pool area. We also had to bring mic press into the pool area. I don't know if that was a press, mic for all the same reasons, and Wally and I set things up so that Dominic could actually stand in the water while he was playing, just because it looked really good. As well as recording in a swimming pool. Hot tub overdubs were recorded through bubbling water and submerging cymbals, but these ultimately were unused in the song. Oh, okay. So he did some other stuff. Dang, we need.
But he was standing in there because they thought it looked cool. They're like, yeah, dude, sounds like a prank. It's like, no, you gotta stand in the water. It's gonna make it sound better. Yeah. Stand there, get a little lower. Lower.
All right. So now you're gonna go, and I'm sorry, I'm not using like the music videos for these, so because I want to just focus on the music. And also, okay. I mean, they didn't make music videos for all of them, obviously, because they weren't all released as singles. So now we're going to number 3. This is the first Muse song I ever heard, the first one that introduced me to Muse, so it has a special place in my heart, and it's amazing. It's a fan favorite when they perform it live, and we get to see them. You've probably heard of it, I don't know, but
cool.
Whether you've heard it or not, you're gonna hear it again because it's amazing. So track number 3, Time Is Running Out.
Spy music into Halloween. Let's get your reaction first. Thought you were having a.
This is so good.
Emotional response.
So good. I never get tired of this song. Like when I first heard it, I downloaded it and I burned it on a CD, and it was the only track on there, and I listened to it on repeat. That's how much I love this song. And my sister was like, "Why do you keep listening to that song?" And I'm like, "It's so good. You don't know."
What speaks to you about it?
Oh, I don't know. Like at the time, I think it was just like something different. They're a British band, and I don't know. I just didn't think they were American when I first. I'm like, definitely sounds British. And then I got to see the music video. I listened to the song and saw the music video at the same time. So I was like watching the video, and the video. Most fans already know this, but since you don't know, the video is kind of like pays homage, or maybe I don't know if it pays homage, but it's like the film Doctor Strangelove. It's kind of like references that one like pretty heavily. It's like they have a war room just like the movie, and I went to film school, so I was like, okay, they're referencing Doctor Strangelove, so I thought that was like pretty cool. And they have like dancers, like female dancers, but they're dressed kind of like generals, but they're dancing all sexy. So I'm like, this is different, and this, I don't know, it's just very like I think because I saw the video too, I was like, what's going on here, so it intrigued me. And then just I like how it built. A lot of their songs like build up slowly, like they'll start slow and then they like build up and you're just like rocking, and I was like, oh my god, so cool.
Yeah, this is a headbanging song.
Yeah, but we're not here to talk about me, it's you. We need to know what your thoughts are. This song rocks. It's like a pretty straightforward rock song. I also noticed I want to call it the bridge. I'm not sure. It's like a working out period. No, it's like this thing that the drums were doing where it was like cat. It reminded me of that's Helena by My Chemical Romance. Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah.
It's like the pre-chorus, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
Also because I love the piano, like when I heard the piano too, like, and I think that's more like the bridge. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I love this band. They have like awesome drums. The drummer
I love
too.
The intro to it.
Yeah.
The intro to it sounds like spy music with that kind of effect that they have.
That's
and it kind of turns into Halloween,
when you first hear that and then you see the video, like, because it starts with him, like, it's like a close-up of him snapping and you're like, what the frick is going on? So then you're like, oh my god, you're so intrigued.
Yeah, it's kind of sassy too.
Yeah, I think it's a very sexy song for some reason. I don't know. I'm like, I feel like I don't know. I've told other friends, I'm like, does anyone else think this is a very sexy song? They're like, yeah, I think it's maybe the bass or something. I'm like, maybe.
It is, yeah.
So in terms of what the song is about, Matt Bellamy said that it's about the emotion of a person during the last moments of their life. But it can be applied to society, a relationship, your religion, or whatever. And then in a French interview, he said this song is almost a kind of generality that you can apply to anything, like a relationship. I try to write songs that in general may apply to many situations. It speaks
It did seem pretty broad. You know, it's kind of like raw feeling.
Yeah. Time Ronnie's well, the song refers to the fact that it's trying to break this confinement or something like that. And oh, okay, so he also said that the song went from being a pile of cack. What kind of words are these? Or did they mean crack? I don't know. That it went from being a pile of garbage basically to being the grooviest, coolest song on the record. All right.
Wow. So they didn't like it at first and it became your favorite song.
Yeah, I mean, so many people like it. It's like the one, like it's one of those that like when you hear the first notes, everyone goes crazy, like, "Oh my God, yes!" They save it to the end now because like they know like people love it. And then
it's
actually
probably really good at a concert.
Oh yeah, everyone's like jumping up and down. Oh yeah, for sure. What this is something I thought was really interesting because it's also one of my favorite artists ever. That it was actually influenced by Michael Jackson. They said that they wanted to do something a little bit more funky. This is a bassist, so he said that they wanted to do something more groovy. It was something they never really done before. Something that made you want to click your fingers. Something that was more influenced by someone like Michael Jackson or someone like that. We wanted something that sounded like Billie Jean. So one with another cool bass.
Maybe that's where they got like the attitude of it, you know. They got like the attitude and the sexy going.
And according to Matt Bellamy, they used an electric piano that was used by U2 on New Year's Day, which is also one of my favorite U2 songs. And the piano was recorded and then they added the effects. And during the second verse, a wagon wheel being hit was synchronized with the snare drum. The wheel the wheel is a very old one that Bellamy and Howard found while taking a walk during the recording of Absolution. Clicks and claps made by Tom Kirk. He's like one of their friends that records a lot of their footage. And the band by clicking their fingers and clapping their hands against their laps can be heard throughout the track. That's one thing I like about them because that's kind of how I am too. It's just like, let's just try this. And I think that's how they are too. They'll just like find something. Oh, let's just see what noise this makes or something.
Yeah. I love it. And I love that I know this now, you know, because like you can kind of listen for it. But, you know, I love percussion. So like hearing all these like crazy ways that they're trying to like make like really cool hitting wagon wheels and standing in pools.
Yeah. And I want to show you this clip of them performing this song live. This is one of probably my favorite performance of this song. It's from 2004 because Matt does something that's like I want to ask him if he planned this or if it was spur of the moment because it's just like an epic Muse concert moment. Oh, nice. And it's, you know, it's a lot about timing.
You would rather it be a spur of the moment thing?
I don't know. I don't know. Either way, I'd still like it. I'm just curious. Also, you know, Michael Jackson live, his timing is amazing. Like just watching his documentary, like, so this kind of makes, I'm like, he's a genius too. Matt Bellamy's a genius. Like just, I want to show it to you. It's just this one little moment. It's so cool. And I haven't seen him do this any other time they've performed this song. So it's not something he does every time they perform it. So I'm like, maybe it was kind of like a spur of the moment thing because he doesn't do it every time. But when I first saw it, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is okay, so this was during the bridge, but they don't he's not playing the piano in this part because when they perform live they have a fourth guy. His name is Morgan. He's a fourth member. All right, so this is just watch Matt right here. God. He's like spinning. But he's playing it on the guitar instead of the piano. And then he gets to the mic. Like, right on time.
Just screwed it in. That's so satisfying. That's like one of those like YouTube videos or like matches up perfectly.
How did you time it so perfectly? Like,
he's not on a spinning platform?
No, he spins like on his feet.
He's just doing his feet.
Yeah, like a shuffling thing.
That's awesome.
I'm like,
so cheeky.
You and Michael Jackson should have collaborated. Like, I'm just saying,
Wow.
like, oh my gosh. So that's definitely something I want to ask him if I ever meet him someday. Like, did you plan it? Because he's never done it again. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think it has to be something that's spur of the moment, that you got to just be like, all right, I'm going to try this. Because if you try to recreate it, you're like, I'm never going to time that just right.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
that's
like,
true.
You start heading on it, you're like, no, this is going to be really awkward.
Might as well just leave it that one time that was perfect.
That's right.
Yeah, don't screw it up. All right.
So everyone's going to be watching like, oh, you sped up. It wasn't perfect that time.
Yeah. So now we're going to go on to track number 4, Sing for Absolution. So kind of still we have this theme of the world is ending, kind of, in a way.
Their death is like a big theme here.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah,
he's like, I was in love, but also thinking about maybe the world ending at the same time.
I love it. I mean, that's what makes him, that's what makes him an artist. You know, those things are kind of, they're all kind of the same, chaos and order and pain and love and, all that stuff.
All right. Here we go.
Oof. That really puts you in a place.
Yeah. Yeah. Matt said that it's about like maybe like a dead relationship or something like that. And he also said that making music or singing for him is an act of seeking absolution, and that it's his personal way to find a manner to understand myself, and understanding all these elements, confusing him, all those things that scare him arise in the song. And according to the drummer, Dominic, the song is about writing music, singing, and the finding of non-religious absolution through both. He described the process of songwriting as starting with things one does not understand, and the result as feeling better about them.
That's cool. It kind of starts, you just start writing, not knowing what it's going to be, and then just go on the journey.
I feel like the lyrics are a little bit like, it sounds a little like, even though they said that it's not what it's about, like they have a little bit creepy lyrics, like tiptoe to your room. like the way he sings it, it's like, it could be like a stalker, tiptoe to your room. And kind of like the Police, Every Breath You Take. I was like, after you listen,
I was like thinking of that.
Like,
yeah. I had a coworker one time who she was getting married, and her dad was like, I think we should have our dance to this, like our daughter father dance to every movie you make. And she was like, you should listen to that song again and read the lyrics. It's like, we're not dancing to that song. Like, that's the creepiest song. Yeah. There's no way.
The husband would be like, should I be worried?
Yeah, he's like, the father's like making eye contact with the groom like the whole time.
You're not gonna be the only man in her life. Okay. Creepy. So I actually have a couple behind the scenes clips. I forgot to show the Time Is Running Out one. It's only 20 seconds. So we have that one, and then Sing for Absolution. So let's see, it's a little bit the making of. So let's do Time Is Running Out first.
It sounds like it's come off like a set. I think that's why I liked it.
The guy with the glasses is a producer.
I love this so much. I just love that. I just love like 4 super talented musicians just going like like they're doing like music for kindergartners at a library, on a Sunday. Everybody.
Yeah, right. Back to basics.
Just all in a circle.
Yeah. That's funny. And now we're gonna go to the Sing for Absolution clip. This one's like super short as well. Close up. like the sticker. How dumb is too
Very
dumb?
mesmerizing music.
Yeah. So that was it. I thought I had more.
More behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, of those songs, but I think it was just that.
Just let's watch those people. Let's watch them all pat their laps and snap for the next 30 minutes.
But hey, it makes it like accessible. Like, hey, anyone can make this music, or at least this part.
I'm serious. Like, I just love it. I love the relationship it has to percussion and how like they used all these cool techniques to get these awesome sounds.
Yeah, they definitely think outside the box. They're not just like, we're only gonna use the instruments the way they're supposed to. We're gonna use other random stuff.
Yeah.
So this is the second Muse song I ever heard, and the Muse video, because I saw the Time Is Running Out first, and then I saw the video for this one, and heard the song at the same time. And after this one, I'm like, I love this band. They're amazing. Like, I'm definitely a fan. This one kind of clinched it for me. Like, Time Is Running Out made me curious. Like, okay, I want to find out more about them. Then I heard this one, and I'm like, okay, I love them. And
What's
now
this one called again?
Now I have to go on LimeWire and download everything. So that's what I did.
Yeah,
that's what I did.
What's this one called again?
It's called Stockholm Syndrome. So, just another really like positive, like uplifting track. It's gonna be all. All right.
I love it. I mean, I enjoy dark stuff.
Right. Right. Me too. It's it's my favorite Muse album. That's why I like DC over Marvel. Just saying. Marvel fans. I like dark stuff. Okay. Anyway, before we start a fight, let's listen to
fight down in the comments.
Stockholm
Marvel
Syndrome, baby. Are you ready for this? Dun 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 dun. I should have had that ready, because you're not ready for this one, but let's see if you are. All right.
Okay. I think I'm ready.
This one is another one that everyone rocks out to, and I get disappointed when they don't perform it, because sometimes this is a sometimes song. They don't do this one every time, and I get sad.
Yeah, I've heard this one.
It's amazing.
Fight song.
How can you not like it? I mean, if you don't like this song, get out of here.
That's great. That was wild. That's awesome.
One of their more hard songs. For some reason, when I heard this one, it reminded me of Silverchair. Do you know
Narnia? Oh, the band
us from Australia. Band. I don't know why. Like,
oh man,
I don't think Silverchair is like super hard, but like for some reason I was like, oh, it kind of reminds me of Silverchair. But
I can't think of
their most popular song was like Anna's song. I don't want to sing it, but
come on.
No, don't want to.
I saw you singing along to the "Abandon You" part.
I don't
from that one from the.
But
everybody's got to sing at that concert for the "Abandon You." This is the last time I love.
Everyone's like, yeah. And I want to show a little bit of what the video looks like. The music video. They went a little crazy as well. They basically
when it first started. Like it sounds like a fight song when it starts.
Oh.
And then it talks about like let your hatred grow. It sounds like a Sith fight song. I just imagine like that's what Darth Vader is like listening to as he's riding the elevator to the last scene from Rogue One. Yeah,
definitely. So the video is basically just them performing with like those like heat sense cameras.
Oh,
I don't know. I forgot the name of them, but it's like the cameras where you can kind of
the infrared.
Yeah, those.
What it is?
And then there's like I don't know when it happens, but at some point, one of them farts.
Someone's in the fetal position there.
Yeah, one of them farts and they light it. I don't know where that is in the video. But
yeah,
it happens
how could you not?
I just read it in the trivia, and I'm like, oh, it sounds like them. I mean, they're in their 20s. Of course, they're gonna be doing stuff like that.
Heck yeah, you get an infrared camera and like 3 days of filming. That's definitely going to pop up in conversation for sure.
Yeah.
And then the next 2 days they deliberate like, should we put it in the video? Of course we should put it in the video.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this was something kind of interesting. According to the drummer and Matt Bellamy, the song was going to be a quiet song and sweet with a gradual rise. Oh my god, whoever wrote this messed up. I can't even. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, quiet song and sweet with a gradual rise, but because of Rich Cossey's ideas, and that there was something truly epic present when it was really quiet at the beginning, and then it was changed just before recording.
They sound like they had just listened to the song and they just couldn't get their words together because they were just like, that was so awesome. It's just epic. It's epic and rising.
Originally, it was just a strange and quiet riff, but then it was reworked with a huge and monstrous chorus riff, and that gives it a really heavy effect. Okay.
I love that 3-note electric guitar descent into the chorus. Da 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 da. I love that so much.
Mm-hmm. And then okay, so the song, while the song was written on piano, it was recorded on both guitar and synths. Matt then mixed both of them together, and the main riff was inspired by System of a Down.
Okay,
makes sense. All
yeah.
right. And it's moving at a tempo of 128 beats per minute. The song is driven by a distorted guitar riff based on the D Phrygian dominant scale. Did I mess that up? Phrygian?
D Phrygian.
Okay.
Yeah, Phrygian is a mode.
Okay.
It's like you have major mode, you have minor mode, and then you have a bunch of other stuff that people don't usually know about, but Phrygian is one of them.
So this is why Muse is awesome.
Yeah.
The verses settle into a D minor riff, while the chorus marks a lighter turn, driven by piano, arpeggiated synth, and harmonized vocals. It ends with a series of power chords, again in the Phrygian dominant.
D Phrygian.
The Phrygian,
yeah.
Sorry.
D Phrygian dominant. Oh, I think that they're talking about. I'm not sure what they mean by when they say dominant, but I guess they mean it's in the. They've changed the key to the dominant, which is the 5 of whatever key they were in. I think. Okay. I think that may be what they mean. So they've like switched keys.
So I don't know if you have. Do you know who Dream Theater is? The band?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm a drummer. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you've heard of this. How there's similarities between a Dream Theater song and this song. Because I'm going to show you a clip.
I might be able to think of it, but there's already, I feel like.
But they said apparently, I'm not trying to I think Dream Theater is awesome too, but I'm not accusing them of copying them. Apparently, they said they were inspired by Muse for this song. So I just want to show the clip, so that way I just want to get your opinion on because when I first heard this song, I was like, this sounds like Stockholm Syndrome. Is this like a controversial thing? Kind of, not super controversial, because most people in the comments are like, yeah, Dream Theater said they were inspired by Muse. It's not a big deal.
Well, we'll know. We'll know. If people are talking about this instead of Marvel versus DC in the comments, we'll know which one's more controversial.
And plus, Muse hasn't sued or anything like that. They're pretty yeah. So I'm and I'm not saying it's a copy. Just for me, when I first heard it, I was like, this sounds like Stockholm Syndrome. So
I think I know the Dream Theater song.
It's called Never Enough.
A little bit different in the chord structure there.
Okay, so what do you think? Since you heard both of them, I've already heard it before, so
yeah, they're similar. They're very similar. They're like too similar for it to be cool, for it to be like completely fine, I think. But I don't know. I would be fine if they were like, yeah, we were very inspired by your song, and this is kind of what came out of it.
That's what most of the comments, I haven't seen the actual interview where that was said, but in the comments, most of the people were saying yeah, they said they were influenced or something like that. So
put a writing credit on there. Just be like, be cool about it. Dream Theater. Were they cool about it?
Well, Muse hasn't, like I said, they haven't sued or said anything, and so they probably don't really care. They're like, we don't think it's like a direct copy or anything. So
yeah. It probably isn't.
Yeah, I don't think it's a direct copy. It's just like an influence, I guess.
Yeah.
So now here's a little behind the scenes of Stockholm Syndrome making of.
So arpeggios for the chorus of D. Yeah, I think it would come under this category here. D tune riff, strings and epic stuff.
Strings and
That's
epic
how
stuff.
That's how he notates the rhythm.
So how's that going to go exactly?
I guess so. He didn't have like. I don't think he had like proper training, anything like that. But I thought it was funny on the board. He's like strings and epic stuff. That's what he calls it. I'm like, that's what I would call it too. Epic stuff. Yeah.
He's like, we know this is going to be great. It's going to be awesome, epic string greatness. That's where this comes in. That's next level confidence.
That's where they're notating, I think, the stuff that they need to record or what they've already recorded.
Yeah.
And I think everything else was like
visual.
Just regular, like drums and it's like strings and epic stuff. So now.
Where does the strings and epic stuff fit into this? I'll show you. I'll show you.
All right. So this is kind of a change from just think of Stockholm Syndrome in your mind, and then this is the next track that follows it. So it's called Falling Away with You.
Aww, something tells me it's not going to be that sweet. Is it going to be another Sith song?
I'll play it.
I'm looking at the lyrics. That one got me a little bit. Wow. That last line, the memories I'll never find, like like memories you don't get to take part in, and that you imagined you might, like maybe that's what he means by, watching our fantasies decay. Nothing will ever stay the same, all the hopes we've cherished fade. I don't know, that seems connected to like memories I'll never find, it's kind of like the.
Yeah, it's according to Matt Bellamy, the song speaks of the difficulty of remembering the good and bad times. Your memory selects certain moments of your life and zap. What makes you having a hard time remembering things done then because it is in a corner of your brain. It's probably a good thing to forget certain moments. So I like how they kind of put it after like Stockholm Syndrome. It's kind of like a nice, like you're like rocking out and then it's like, let's slow down a little bit.
Yeah. It starts off with that really pretty guitar riff.
That's one thing I love about this band. They're not a one-note band. They're like they can be soft or hard, baby.
Right, but was still that museness, the museness of it. It's a very signature sound.
Yeah,
I can see why Dream Theater copied it.
It's freaking Dream Theater. No, I'm just kidding. No, we still love you. Oh, you guys are amazing.
Dream Theater loves Marvel.
I love playing both Dream Theater and Muse songs on Guitar Hero. Okay, I like both.
There's room
although
enough.
the Dream Theater song was way longer.
Dream Theater songs are friggin' long, and like a lot of times their albums are continuous. So it's like it's all like 3 hours of continuous music.
So we have a little short clip of the behind the
scenes. I like this format.
Away.
I like the listen and the behind the scenes thing.
I think it's always good to like just. I think you appreciate the songs more when you kind of know what goes into it.
Yeah, get those arpeggios.
He loves arpeggios. I can't tell what he's playing right there. It's kind of
I don't know what it is either, but it's a very pretty drum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it a steel drum? It looked like it was like convex.
Yeah. And it doesn't even. Someone let me know in the comments. So
They'll let you know.
It's such a pretty song. I love it, but it's actually one of the few that Muse has never performed live, which is sad. Because they said that it never really seemed to work when they tried playing it live.
It makes everybody sad at the concert. Everyone just gets very still.
I mean, they do have slow moments in their shows. I think they need it too, especially like for the drumming. Like the drummer needs to break sometimes. So,
right.
Yeah, they definitely need the slow moments. But this one, yeah, for some reason they haven't played it. And then on Twitter in 2012, they were asked if they would ever play this one live, and Matt Bellamy replied with "Not sure," but it's almost 10 years later, and they still haven't played it. So it's probably
like an unplugged, happen. Muse unplugged.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. So now we're gonna go into their interlude and then Hysteria. So after Hysteria, which I think you already know, but we're gonna listen to it again.
Cool, sweet.
But have you listened to it with the interlude? Maybe not.
I don't think so. There's a lot of these I haven't heard. I've heard Stockholm Syndrome before, but all these other ones I've never even heard. More trailer music.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I feel like I'm in a movie about to die or something. All right, next.
Have you seen Dune?
No.
Haven't seen it
It
yet?
sounds like it reminds you of Dune.
Yeah, it does. Like I see like ships, like giant ships coming in, Yeah,
definitely have a cinematic sound. That's one reason I love this band.
So good. Such a good sound. One of my favorites.
You said your favorite? Or
one of my favorites. Okay. I think probably has to go Newborn, Stockholm Syndrome, then Hysteria for me.
Oh, okay. Good list.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. So actually, the interlude, it actually bears similarity to King Crimson's In the Court of the Crimson King. So I wanted to play a little clip of that. So if anyone has not heard that track, so I'll play it. I thought it was pretty interesting.
In the Court of the Crimson King.
For the Court of the Crimson.
Yeah.
So right there you can kind of cool, guys, cool. So there's that.
And 70s drums, 70s drum fills. Look at that.
And also apparently the interlude samples the chord progression of Adagio for Strings by Samuel Barber. So let's listen to that. Let's see. Not the whole piece because that's going to be really
It's one
long.
of the greatest hits.
Oh, it's so low, the volume. So for anyone listening, if you want to check out the whole track, it's Adagio for Strings by Samuel Barber. Oh wow, it's beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna cry. I like to find out, kind of look up this kind of stuff, and also just for maybe fans who didn't know about like the influences. So
it uses the chord structure from that, huh? It uses the
apparently with the guitar and extremely heavy fuzz effect. So
fuzz effect, yeah, that's right. That's Muse.
Yeah,
the Muse fuzz, the bass fuzz.
And then for as far as Hysteria, Matt said the song is about, just about desire, something you can't have, and the obsession of wanting to have something. Okay, whoever wrote this, it's not Matt who's speaking, it's just whoever wrote this down. It's like not the best. I should have revised this before. And then kind of being in love with something you can't actually get yourself. And then at 134, apparently a scratching can be heard. When the guitar track is isolated, it is clear that the sound was produced by Matt playing the bass line on guitar, but instead of playing the strings, simply scratching the strings with a scratching along the strings with a plectrum. Okay. Sorry, it's just random fact. I believe them. Anyone wants to do that. We're not going to do that right now. So any other thoughts on the interlude? You said it was like, it kind of reminded you of Dune or Doom? Yeah,
Dune.
Dune. Oh, I forgot there's two movies, right? There's Doom and Dune.
The new movie's out.
Okay. I haven't seen either, so I'm behind.
Well, Doom's not very much like Dune.
Okay.
Only in phonetics alone are they similar. And maybe like some futuristic.
I'm so like not knowledgeable about that stuff. I'd be like, yeah, wait, which one? Oh yeah, I saw Dune. It's like, oh no, I actually saw Doom.
You'd be so confused.
Yeah, I'd be like, wait, that's not the movie I saw.
Like House Atreides has inherited Arrakis. You're like, is that the part where they shoot the pig monster? Or is that I like the part where they shoot the pig monster. Is that the right part?
They need to do a like Alien versus Predator, but like Dune versus Doom.
Dune versus Doom.
Or just some kind of mashup, and then Muse can make the music for it. It's gonna be amazing.
They just show up pissed on their spaceship, and it's like, your name sounds too much like our name. Let's do this. We're gonna have this out right now.
It was inevitable. It had to happen.
We can settle this.
Yeah. And then Muse write some music for it.
That's a great idea for a video. You should make that video. Who would win, Doom or Dune?
Yeah. So now one of my favorite ones as well. It's so beautiful. It's called Blackout. Another beautiful positive title. But I love this track. It's and seeing them perform it live. It's one that's not really performed live, sadly.
Oh, okay. I've heard this one too. The lyrics, these are probably my favorite lyrics of all the lyrics I've heard from Muse.
This one also gives me a feeling of like, I'm gonna die. I'm like dying right now. This is the end of my life.
Yeah,
but like, okay. If I'm gonna die, I want to listen to all this music. Like,
that's right. Just set sail on a boat, send me out to the ocean, listening to this song. The fuzz. Here comes the fuzz.
They should have called themselves the Fuzz.
The fuzz. Should I at my funeral? I want a fuzzy funeral.
It's a little waltz.
Yeah. All Muse songs, you just gotta let it breathe for a second, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta let it.
Yes.
Let the continue into silence for a moment.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that's all right. You're the host. You know.
Well, I mean, also, I don't want people listening to be like, did the podcast turn off? You know, when there's like too much silence, or like, is something wrong with my?
Refresh their Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's your internet's fine. Mm-hmm. We're just internalizing Muse. It takes that long. Yeah, that song's really important to me. I actually heard that song just by chance, kind of in a part of my life where I was really questioning a lot of the things I learned when I was growing up, and it was kind of a crazy journey to kind of depart from the things that I had hoped for and dreamed for and were told were true, and then I kind of figured out for myself that I don't really think that they are, and so when I heard that song, it really gave voice to some of that, of what was going on inside of me. If the lead singer of Muse is singing about this stuff, it's like I'm not alone, thinking about and turning these thoughts over. But the idea of like, this life's too good to last, that this life is too good to last, that in just that phrase to me embodies like the relationship between sadness and happiness. You know, there's something that happens when you're like, this moment doesn't last. It's too good. It's, you know, it might end, but that hones your ability, I think, to really drink in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Come to terms with like, this is the shot we get at it.
Yeah. Definitely makes you like, think about a lot of things for sure.
Yeah.
And he said that in terms of like writing the song or recording it, he said he used a mandolin, or maybe for writing it, he wrote it. He said he
played a fuzzy mandolin.
Yeah.
He put some fuzz on that mandolin.
Oh, I think he wrote with the mandolin in mind, and he spent a fair bit of time in Italy, and that the track was influenced by some of the sounds that he heard there in Italy, a combination of folk and some opera, and then he also was a little bit influenced by Frank Sinatra. This is an influence. I can definitely like imagine Frank Sinatra singing that song. So very interesting, the different influences here. You know, sadly they don't perform this one that often, but I wanted to show a clip of them performing this one on at Wembley Stadium. It's from like one of their concert DVDs. It's amazing. I love it so much. But like, just see what they do, like, to make it just, oh my god, an experience. They have additional performers during this song. I'm not going to show the whole performance, but just so you can see like the other performers they have on there.
Okay.
To add to the beauty of it. And this is like a huge stadium with like so many people, and like he's able to like calm everyone down in a huge stadium with this song.
Is that a real human on there?
Yeah. They have several of them floating around.
That's awesome. Dude, I want to ride one of those balloons.
Where's the other ones? I know there's more. Buzz Factory is
Buzz
love.
Factory.
Buzz Factory is life. And she said, when I'm no longer in this world, I want this and other great music from Muse played at my celebration of life.
That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
It hones your love of life.
Yes. Oh, beautiful. All right. That's all.
That's a sincere thing that woman wrote.
Yeah.
I'm sure the other guy was sincere too. The fuzz is life. Fuzz is life.
Yeah. So now here's a little behind the scenes clip of the recording of Blackout. What are those little balls?
I don't know. I was too distracted by the violins crawling up the scale. Beautifully. Yeah. I don't know. Those little miniature.
It just reminded me of they look very similar to like the ones from the concert. The ones that were floating. I'm like, is that a theme?
Maybe that's where they got the idea. They were just like had their fidget and they go, oh, you know what? Let's float a human from one of these. Mm-hmm. Let's make a big one.
And you know, there you got to see why this is probably my favorite band, and one of my favorite album from them is just like all the, you know, the strings in this album is just like, oh, so like you don't see that like in modern music really. You know, it's like if you like strings, it's like, okay, you listen to classical music, that's it. You don't really see it in modern music. So yeah, and I love the piano too. So this album has like all of that, and it's very cinematic. Yeah.
That's why I like Muse. I mean, it's like what Muse is like, the rock band that happens when you have someone who loves, like a pianist who loves classical music, you know? Mm-hmm. So you get that awesome mix.
So maybe you could have written those songs too.
I don't know, man. That's a pretty music. They got a distinct sound, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've always, I may have something in me though. Wanted to write like a symphony.
Yeah. Like Muse wrote one.
Did they really?
Yes, I sent you the. It's not on this album. It's on like a couple albums later. It's 3-part symphony.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
you sent it to me.
Yeah. You didn't listen to it. You need to listen to it. All right.
I got homework.
Well, it'll be in chronological order then, because this came before that. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now, another amazing track, one of my favorite Muse songs ever, and one I also listened to on repeat just for like a whole week. Just this one song, and I actually made a music video like using this track about Batman, because this song made me think about Batman and his story. Like, and I just could see the clips in my head when I would listen to it. And I'm like, I have to make the music video. So I used clips from Batman Begins and I made a music video to this song. So you can see it. To anyone listening to the podcast, you can see it on my channel for the Musecast podcast. It's on there. If you look up Batman Begins, Butterflies and Hurricanes, my video's there. I think I did a pretty good job.
Much better than those write-ups you're reading. That was way better. You should rate those.
Yeah. And yeah, so we're gonna listen to track number 10, Butterflies and Hurricanes. Oh, amazing. Have you heard this one? Do you know off? Maybe if you hear it.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't recognize the name, but we'll know once it starts playing.
Yes.
Nope. Spy music again.
And Batman is kind of a spy, just saying.
That's true. Ooh. Yeah. I'll break the silence that time. Well, very romantic piano playing there.
Definitely here says that the romantic piano section takes influences from, among other composers, Rachmaninoff. So there we go. Yeah. And Matt said about the song, it's about hope, trying to find the strength to get through any given situation. I was trying to find a classical type of piano style that would be heavy and work with bass and drums, and had that sort of mechanical paradiddle thing all the way through, and then it breaks down into this kind of romantic flowing weird in the middle. And he said in another interview that one of my favorite songs is Butterflies and Hurricanes, because it's accepting that things are all over, but it's going effing go for it. Do you know what I mean? There's a few tracks that are trying to find that strength, the raw energy that keeps you going through that jadedness as opposed to just resigning. And then also, apparently the song really took shape when Matt spent a few hours fiddling around on a Steinway in a hotel they were staying in. I was just alone in this piano room for hours and hours and hours. I found myself playing the paradiddle that goes do-do-do. He was doing it like that over and over again. And I started playing that on just 2 notes, constantly playing it over and over again until I got to a point where extra notes were sort of finding their way in there. And it ended up building up to the point where I was playing 5-note chords with each hand and playing these massive chords on the piano, and it sounded really effing heavy. And a chord structure started to come out of that, and I was thinking this could be something. Yeah.
Cool. So that's how he composes. Just gets on a piano, just starts playing. Just like Chopin. That was Chopin's style of composition. Yep. Just start playing at a piano, as opposed to like Beethoven, who would sit down and write out little ideas, just spit out tons of them. He never threw anything away, so there's just like tons and tons of like Beethoven manuscripts.
Oh wow, okay.
But Chopin would just sit at a piano and just start playing until he's like, yeah, that's good, and then he would just record the whole thing. You write it down.
That sounds more like my style. Like when I come up with things, it's more like I don't even mean to. It's more like it just came out. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or you're just like, yep, you're right. That's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So we're gonna show a little behind the scenes of this one. Again, I mean, strings just, the piano is just, it's so epic. I love it.
I love the swell with the violins that they did at the end of the piano solo, you know, where it kind of ends. You don't really know where it is tonally, and then the violins just kind of like. I'm
just showing how they got the album cover. Yeah.
Sick.
They don't perform this one that often anymore, but sometimes when they have, he'll go from like the guitar like in the middle of the song, and then he'll go and like play that part in the piano, and then he'll go back to the guitar, and I think it's so cool. I'm like
showing off, just super talented.
Yeah.
I got the guitar and I can play the crap out of this piano. Let me just sit down on a Steinway.
Let me just rock this
compose the piece, and
let me see if I can find the clip from that DVD where he does that. It's just, and then I'm just like, this is why I love you, dude. Like, you do this kind of stuff right in front of us.
He's awesome. Not to mention, he's got that friggin' voice. That just.
Yeah, he's a pretty good range.
Yeah.
He can go
he just uses it. He almost uses his voice like a, I don't know, like a wind instrument sometimes. You know, he just like sings some crazy line over the top of the music.
Yeah. So let's see if I can show this epicness from Wembley as well, because that's just such a good show. I love watching this DVD. Can't forget Morgan. That's one of my favorite live Muse moments. And
super impressive.
Do you have any other things you want to say about this song?
I don't think I got anything. No floating balls at that last one though.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna show you. So I'm gonna show you a clip of my music video that I made. My Batman one. Not the whole thing, obviously. Okay, if you want to see the whole thing, you have to go and actually watch it on the channel. All right, it's amazing. But I think I did a good job. All right, I'm a good editor. I'm not ashamed. Like I'm a good editor. I can edit. So other things I don't know if I'm good at, but I'm good at editing.
But you got these Batman Muse crossover videos.
So this is clip. That's so good. Rolls down the hill.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. Got to be the best. See? He's trying to be the best. Yep. He's got to change the world. All right. It matches.
See, it's a very Bond thing right there, too. You got the gadgets.
Yes.
As if the bats were notes of the arpeggiated piano.
Yeah. I thought it went so well.
It does. That note right there.
Yeah. So that's a preview. That's a preview.
Solid. That's good.
Thank you. William Joseph did a cover of this song. So look him up on Spotify. William Joseph, Butterflies and Hurricanes. It doesn't have the piano, like the midsection right there, but it's still a pretty good cover, I thought. So instrumental. So it's an instrument. So, he doesn't sing. So if you want to listen to it without any singing, there you go. So next, we're going to go into the small print. Almost done.
Yeah, that's great. Bam! You know what that reminded me of?
What?
Garbage. The band Garbage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little bit. That seemed to me like the most grungy of the Muse songs. A little just coming up a little bit, just kind of touching the grunge genre a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. Do you have did you have an idea of like what the lyrics maybe were talking about?
I didn't get a whole lot of the lyrics.
Oh, okay. So
if I could judge from Muse, it had something to do with death and the ending of things, and also rebirth, and how this is your one chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so pretty so basically the before I guess they settled on the name, the small print, it was called Action Faust. So it's like a reference to Goethe's Faust. I don't know if it's Goethe. I think it's Goethe. I think you pronounce it Goethe. So
I think it's Goethe.
Really? Okay.
Goethe?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's got like the lines or something, or the dots over the
O.
O,
okay.
or something like that.
Sorry.
Makes it like Goethe.
So it's being sung from the point of view. Being sung from the point of view of the devil, to someone selling their soul to him in exchange for presumably musical prowess and fame. It shows the transaction as ultimately manipulative on the part of the devil, dooming the recipient to be a slave to the grave. They presume it's the devil because there's a lyric that says, "I'm a priest, God never paid." So,
ooh,
there we go.
Jilted priest.
And apparently at 2:51 you can hear a cat meowing. I heard like a little like meow, like but I don't know if it was actually a cat. I was like, is that really a cat? Like, who made this up? Like, is that real?
Actually, they got that sound by standing in a pool and snapping their fingers. I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that they got like a cat sound in some crazy roundabout way.
And it's like the people that like hear these things, I'm like, how do you hear it? Like, it's so like the only way I could hear it is because someone told me. Like, if no one had told me, it's so short. Like, I wouldn't have been able to tell. So,
yeah,
people who do this,
hear the cat.
Do you have a life? No, I'm just kidding. Like, how do you find these random sounds? Like, I've listened to this album and just songs in general like a lot, and sometimes I don't even hear. Yeah, if it's like super subtle, like I don't know, I can't.
That's how you get into like the certain clubs, like a Muse club. They're like, all right, at how many seconds do you hear the cat?
Oh my god.
If you know Muse, you'll know what I mean.
Yeah, apparently like in Butterflies and Hurricanes, after he does the piano part, like you can hear him get up from the sound of him getting up from the
piano bench.
Yeah.
Like right.
And yeah. I'm like, okay, I heard it like barely right now. But like, if I'm just listening to it casually and maybe not super loud, I probably would never have been able to like hear that. So just because I read that was in there, I'm like, oh, okay. But I'm like, how do you hear that? Like, the people that find these things, like,
dude, people like this band. they're listening to these songs.
Like, I don't know. Maybe they listen to it super loud or really good headphones with like no other noise. Because I'm like, I can't always, like, sometimes there's no complete silence. If I'm listening to this and there's traffic out there, I'm not going to hear these like little sounds or something.
Right, you can't hear the cat when there's traffic around. But like I did get a really good pair of headphones one time and could hear like things from songs I loved and had heard thousands of times. But I like heard one thing for like something new for the first time.
Oh.
Just because I had like really good headphones.
So invest in good pair of headphones, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I have not because my ears hurt. Like, they hurt my ears, so I can't really wear the big ones, and then I don't like the small ones because they fall out. So I'm kind of stuck. So I usually will use the ones that hook onto the ear. That this one's kind of falling apart, so I have to get it replaced. But like, that's pretty much the only ones I can use because they don't fall off. And they're not like over my ear and like pressing into my head. So yeah.
It looks cool too. It looks professional. You got like the 1 ear thing.
Security.
What was that?
The eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. What's it called? Secret Service.
Yeah.
So now we are gonna go into oh my gosh, I love this one of my favorite songs ever. This is another one they've never performed live, and I hope sometime they do because it's so beautiful. I love it. It's called Endlessly.
Ooh. Oh, wow. Straight up romantic.
Yes, it's like their one kind of love song on the album.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a poignant last line there too, with the moment never comes, you know, like it goes from talking about endlessly and, you know, everything, and then like invokes this one moment, you know. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, and that one he was engaged at the time to the Italian lady, so that, you know, it was written about her or for her, I guess. But yeah, it's so pretty. I love it so much. And I just want to correct myself. So I confused it with Falling Away with You. So that one they haven't performed live. This one they actually have. They just don't perform it anymore. It was mostly, they only performed it really when they were touring for this album in like 2003. So I mean, I've been to 9 gigs, so I think I have seen it perform live. I don't know, it's just I've been to so many, and I did see them on that tour, so I think I might have seen it perform live just once, but like I want to see them perform it again. But now they have so many other albums and songs, and it's like, I don't know when they're ever gonna get to it again. This one's not like one of their biggest songs ever, so yeah, but it's just so pretty.
Probably won't revive it.
I love it. But you can still find, you know, maybe a couple clips of them performing it live. Matt Bellamy said it's a basic love song. I think there's hope in there, even though I'm dealing with generally dark subjects. And that, according to a drummer, originally it's supposed to be more of a rock song. And it apparently had a bluesy riff, but it ended up like this. And soprano singer Renee Fleming covered it on her 2010 album Dark Hope. I listened to it.
Renee Fleming.
You know who she is?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Sopranist.
okay. Yeah, she
sings my favorite version of "You'll Never Walk Alone."
Oh, okay. So you actually know who she is. All right. So I heard her version of this, and it's really
Crushed
pretty.
it.
So
yeah, I'm sure she did. Yeah.
So anything else you would like to say? I do have a clip, behind the scenes clip.
Yeah, let's see some behind the scenes stuff.
All right. Oh, this one's a little bit longer. Thank you. We need more love for this song. If we're not going to see it live, we need a longer behind the scenes clip. All right.
Yeah.
Don was kind of playing jazz drums, like jazz drum kit over the top of kind of a dance piece. It's like this combination of sort of house with jazz drums. Okay, it's quite cool. Well, actually, before you do that, then, do you want to do? I want to add in whatever is the best shaker. Yeah, there's one of those shakers that is really intense. Like sort of, it's like very quiet, very soft. It's quite intense vibe. What's your favourite shaker you've heard so far?
I love how they're trying a bunch of different shakers. So what's your favorite one?
They're gonna shake everything in that studio. Have we tried shaking the computer? Anyone shook the computer? Did we do that? That's so great.
It's like 5 hours later. They're so
like, what'd you do yesterday? I shook everything.
Shook a bunch of things.
9 hours. I just shook stuff.
But I love this. You don't see this with people just making stuff on like TikTok or GarageBand or something.
Yeah, no, it does. And it goes to show like just how much, like how awesome the producers of the music are too, and like what they're doing, their wizardry. Is that Morgan?
No. Morgan's just there for the live performances.
Oh, okay. He doesn't come in the studio.
Yeah. Sometimes, you know, they added too many instruments during recording, and then once they have to play them live, they're like, oh shoot, we need someone else. Whoops.
Yeah, right.
We can't do all of them at the same time live, so that's funny.
Just think how much of Morgan's life he spends shaking things.
Yeah, I definitely have seen him shaking in the live performances in the back. Shaking stuff.
He's like, I arpeggiate and I shake stuff. That's my life.
It's a pretty cool life.
Yeah,
and
it is,
I don't have to deal with crazy fans. I get the best of both worlds. I get paid to play music, but I don't have to deal with crazy fans stalking me. So he just gets to be in the background, like behind the drummer, like, what's up?
Yeah.
I actually want to do an episode about Morgan, see what kind of info I can find, but there's not that many. He might be like, no, don't make an episode about me.
I'd be like, he'd probably be embarrassed. He'd be like, no, I'm in the
I'm trying to be hidden.
No tributes, no compilations.
Right. Yeah. He's very humble.
He's like, just grab something and shake it if you want to honor me.
Yes. Shake it up. Shake it up. Okay. All right. Now, I need to get those clips of them, and then use the song, the Outkast song, "Hey Ya." Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake.
That's Morgan's favorite song.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Morgan's like, I love this song. I love Taylor Swift.
All right. Next.
Yeah, and Outkast.
Yeah. Every song that has, and then shake, 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 shake your booty, shake your shake.
So you're doing it right now. You're making the Morgan tribute video.
Yeah,
right
exactly. That was it.
Yeah. You just finalized it. You're like, all right, yep, let's write it down.
Yeah. All right. Next, thoughts of a dying atheist.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I love all these titles. Just how, like, give them to a Christian. Be like, here, listen to this album. And then just read all the titles. Like, what the frick?
Yeah.
I'm like super religious person. I want to give it to them.
Right. Yeah.
This is my favorite album. Like, this is my favorite album. Here you go.
Right. They'd have to go back and listen to the music. Like if you think the "I'll Be Watching You" song is like a sweet, like nice romantic song, that's like a Christian loving Muse. I'm an atheist, so like after me, you should like have a Christian on and just read him some lyrics.
And then that song, the previous
Christian
song,
reacts to Muse.
Yeah, and then the I'm the priest God never paid. It's like, what? Devil. Yeah, that would be a good video. Super Christian reacts to Muse Absolution album.
Right, like, there's a lot of songs about how it's just over if you die.
Right.
It's interesting.
They're like, girl, you need Jesus. You need Jesus if this is your favorite album.
They're like, yeah, forget that cutout of that person. You need a cross on that wall.
Well, the person is shaped like a cross.
That's true. They are. They're crucifix shaped. So
there you go.
Maybe that will be your absolution.
And I actually call myself a musologist sometimes. Like when people ask me my religion, I'm like, I'm a musologist. So
they'd be like, what kind of Christian is that? Is that I'm Methodist? Did you say Methodist?
Yeah. All right. Track 13. Let's go.
All right. I got my lyrics queued up.
Okay.
I love that vocal.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a yeah. Wow. I love that. I love the whoa that he puts that at the end there.
It's funny because like those lyrics are kind of like, yeah, they're talking about like, I guess it's like someone kind of being scared or like dying, but like the beat and it makes me like happy. Like I'm like, yeah, it makes me like want to dance.
Yeah, I know. It's got like this kind of boppy, rhythm.
Yeah.
So,
I'm about to die, but it's okay. Yeah.
I'm terrified. Yeah.
It's like you're at a party and you're like end of the world party and you're just like, we're gonna die, so might as well just like dance.
Yeah, might as well just dance. Whoa.
Yeah.
And do some woes and yes. I like how it's like, are you afraid to die? And then it's just like, yeah.
It scares the heck out of me.
Yep. No, I think I wonder if he's talking about nihilism a little bit there. I think I understand. I might understand what's happening there. It's kind of related to what I was talking about before. Where if you're sold this thing about an afterlife and heaven and all this stuff, and you don't actually believe it's true, there's some stuff you go through, and I think this is one of them. This is kind of one of those stages where it's scary.
Mm-hmm. Well,
on that note, on that upper.
Well, I think this is a quote from Matt. Yeah, it's about the idea of trying to maintain anything your beliefs own. Trying to. What? Who wrote this? I don't think this is how Matt talks. Like someone did not just transcribe this. Yeah, trying to maintain your beliefs and recognize death at the same time.
Right.
And
kind of what I said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Also an alternative title for this is Scary.
See, that's someone trying to put it lightly. That's someone who's trying not to depress people.
Yeah.
Where they're like trying to maintain your beliefs, but
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty much someone who doesn't want to just outright say, yeah, there's no heaven.
Yeah.
It's kind of
he's very
just dancing around
being very diplomatic.
Yep.
And also, Thoughts of a Dying Atheist was once a working title for Megalomania, which was on Origin of Symmetry. So there you go. That one definitely gives me I'm about to die vibes as well. But like, if I'm gonna die, at least I'm gonna listen to the last thing I'm gonna listen to is this amazing music. So it's fine.
Yeah. Listen to some fuzz.
Yeah. Yes.
Let the fuzz be with you.
Oh my God.
Forever.
So, oh my gosh, we're almost done. 2 more tracks. So we have the official, I guess, last track, which is Ruled by Secrecy. But then after this, we have the bonus track, the Japanese bonus track. I personally think this was like the original, like how they had it, with Ruled by Secrecy being the last track is the best way to go. If I had to have this bonus track on there, I would have it before this one, but we're going in the order they have it. So this is Ruled by Secrecy. Oh my gosh, another amazing one. I love it so much.
You say that about like pretty much every track where you're like, oh my gosh.
So I love this album.
Like every time you're like, I can't believe we're playing this right now. It's so good. Ending on some dissonance there. Dissonant. Haunting.
This is why I like the album ending with this one. Just
yeah.
So
it really is though. Like it really is like a good example of music that one of the things we learned about in music school was the purpose of silence, like how silence functions into music and and the knowledge of your piece going into silence, at the end and what that is. And there's kind of almost a mystical element to how some people will talk about the use of silence, to the point where in like 20th century music, some people just experimented with this just silence, literally. There's like a piece by John Cage where nothing plays, and the idea is like whatever happens in that space is the music, and is it music if you just place like a frame of time around it, but Muse is a good example of it really does, like it enters into silence nicely, and you're always changed, it always changes how I feel.
Nice. The title for this song, or originally some other alternative titles were Milky Piano and Rule by Secrecy instead of Ruled. So those were some other titles. And then it's also related to a book called Rule by Secrecy by Jim Mars. It's a book about conspiracy theories of how there are secret societies dictating the way the world is run. And the song probably refers to the underground group called Illuminati.
They should call that song Q.
Oh jeez, no, I don't want them part of our fan base. No, please no. We already probably have some, but they're not as prevalent. So this is really interesting. So Matt Bellamy about this song, he says this song is kind of like about some geezer who's come back from work and he's just like kind of shot everyone and blown everyone up and comes back to his wife with with a load of blood all over his hands going, I've just blown it, I lost the plot. And the reason being because it's slowly dawning on him that everything he is doing is out of his power. And according to the drummer, the song is about fear of people with power or responsibility, fear you can't control no matter how hard you try to fight against. Yeah, like you're just kind of part of this system, like no matter what you do.
That's why I love this band. That's so cool.
And it was actually one of their favorite songs to play during the Absolution tour, but they haven't played it really since then. Why?
I really like that
it's
song.
So good.
I really like that song, especially the beginning of the song.
I love playing the piano parts. It's like I just feel like, like when I play it, I'm like, it sounds so pretty.
I see you got a nice keyboard there.
I got a new one. It's used, but I wanted something. I didn't want like a brand new one. Some other information. Okay, so at the end, a heartbeat can be heard. It's very quiet, though it is possible to hear. So I didn't really hear it, but again, I have these headphones.
Yeah.
So did you hear a heartbeat?
I didn't. No, I was definitely paying more close attention to the ride symbol, playing with that. What he was doing on the piano. That half step.
Yeah.
Minor second there at the end.
It's something maybe you're next time around and be like, let me see if I can listen to that heartbeat.
Yeah. It's almost like a drinking game, you know. It's like, all right, we're gonna listen for the cat.
Yes.
The heartbeat and the getting up from the piano bench.
Yeah. So now we have a little behind the scenes of them recording this. We're playing outside.
If you're going to do it, I would try to do it as quick as you can, because somebody will.
Oh, you think so?
Well, they won't like. But I wouldn't say they would have a problem with it. But if it goes on all day,
It's left-handed,
right?
They will. Well, so I would just do it and get it done.
It's like hurry up.
You know.
It's like I could do it right now if you weren't talking.
But
I'm trying to get this cool sound, dude.
Sounds good. Yeah, it does. Sounds great.
Can't rush.
Think about all the shaking they had to cancel that day. They're like, we were gonna shake everything after this.
It's like we're trying to create a masterpiece here. You're ruining it.
Come on, you know.
There we go. So they recorded the drums outside.
Outside. I don't know much about recording, but I thought that was very common in the early recording studio days. They would record things in separate rooms in order to mix them.
Yeah. I just think it's so funny, just that scene where he's like playing and it's like basically the guy's like telling him like you need to hurry up because then people are gonna complain, and like I don't know, the drummer, he just has his look of like a little kid, like oh, like really okay. Yeah. It's just so cute. But
that's like, he's been hearing that all his life too. You know, yeah. Drummers are loud. You know, he's like, yeah, I know, guy. You know, I get it. It's loud.
Yeah, but you would think. You know, it seems like it's like some kind of, it's like a studio, but like a farm or something. Like they would have enough space, but it's like, no, these farmers are still gonna complain, like even if they're really far away.
I
They
know.
can still hear you.
Yeah. I guess, seeing it from the other people's perspective, though, it's like it's a music studio and they're like, oh, yeah, we need to play our drums outside. The loudest thing we have, we got to do that so where everyone can hear it.
It's the sound. They need to get the sound. Do you not understand? You'd be like, we are Muse. Okay, this is what we do. Okay.
They probably people would come up and be like, shut up. They'd be like, oh, do that again. That sounded good.
Yeah, we're going to include that on the track.
Can we mic them? Can we get them on a mic?
And then people be like, you can hear someone saying shut up in the track. Very faintly.
Someone screams irately, shut up. Did you hear it?
Or it's like they put it in, but it's in reverse. So it's like if you hear the track in reverse, you can hear people saying shut up.
They just take that and turn it into like a shaky sounding instrument. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Yeah, how do you say in reverse?
It would be. Yeah, that's right.
But it's like, wow, this is really cool. Flip it. It's like, shut up, shut up, shut up. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to say about this song before we move on to the last one?
Oof, the last one. This is a cool journey. I feel like there's so many of those other songs that I didn't know. I only knew like the biggest ones from Muse, and so my kind of mental image of Muse has changed. That's
why I tell people you gotta listen to more than Hysteria. When people are like, "Oh, I know Hysteria," I'm just like, That's it.
Yep, that's right.
I'm here to spread the gospel of Muse.
The gospel. Yeah. You're the musologist. That's your religion.
Exactly. I just don't have a huge book. I need to get one. I have like their sheet music. The sheet music, like, here's a good word of Muse.
You can open up to the New Testament.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you believe in Jesus? Well, you won't after listening to Muse. I should have been in my university when they had like the people on the lawn like spreading all their, religion. I should have been next to them and be like, God doesn't, it's not real. Listen to this album.
They're like, I've come to tell you, Jesus came for your soul. Have you ever
atheism is the way.
Doesn't exist at all?
Just be passing out like albums. Here you go. Listen to Absolution. Here you go. Free CD. Students, they'd be like, oh yeah, free CD. Thank you. Yeah.
Right. Everyone join hands and sing, ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Just let's wrap around the Christian. They're like, oh my God, devil.
How do I get out of here? How do I get out of here? It's like, well, you'll die eventually.
Well, I can still pass for a university student, so I could maybe do it right now. Just show up on random campuses.
Yeah.
Be like, atheism is the way. I'm just kidding. Listen to this album. Okay.
That makes me happy.
And listen to my podcast too. I'm also doing it to spread the word about my podcast.
Podcast, that's right. Have you seen my Batman video?
Yeah. This is what I do on this podcast a lot. I come up with ideas like either for me or for Muse, and I'll be like, nobody steal these ideas. I'll be like,
yeah,
Muse,
that's right.
Muse, if you use these ideas, I would like some residuals, just like at least 1% of the profits. We should
try to remember. We should try to remember the ideas you've had.
At least they're recorded, so if I ever need to sue my favorite band, which would be weird, I'd be like, here, I said this on this day.
Nah, they'd probably be like, hey, listen, we took one for the team for that Dream Theater thing. It's your turn.
But you're already rich. I'm not rich.
That's right.
That'd be so weird.
Dream Theater then.
I wonder if that's ever happened. Somebody suing their favorite band, or like the favorite band suing them. I mean, it probably has happened. Maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like a stalker, not in a stalking context though. Like in a different way. Yeah. That'd be interesting. Or a fan suing the band. I think that'd be cool. Like, oh, I'm gonna sue you because you guys promised a 2-hour show and it was only 1 hour and 58 minutes. So I want my money back.
Here's how much I get paid. 2 minutes is 38 cents. So like
false. What's it called? False advertising. There you go. I can't think of the words.
Are you making Muse music?
Yeah. Right.
You gotta pack your legs first.
All right.
Morgan tribute video and atheist deconversion.
Yeah, and my
Campus
other
outreach.
idea. So my other idea I had, I've talked about this on other podcasts, on other episodes. Was like, I want them, because I love this album so much, and I know a lot of other people like love this one too. It's like I wanted them to tour, kind of like I think Metallica did it with like a tour with an orchestra, so that way they can perform all the songs like properly. I think that would be amazing because they've never even performed with an orchestra. So
that would be awesome.
If you did that, Muse, it would sell out. I'm guaranteed it's gonna sell out like immediately. Because
Muse and the London Symphony Orchestra.
Yes, like I don't even care. Even if you don't tour, if it just, I mean, hopefully, I'd rather have it be a tour so that way, like, because I've seen other bands do tours with like orchestras, and like that way at least more fans have a chance to see it. Because like if it's just 2 nights performance in one city, like it's gonna sell out immediately, and not everyone's gonna get to go. So I would prefer a tour, and I'm just like, Muse, if you ever do that, please give me some. I came up with that. That's just something I've suggested. I don't know if they'll ever do it, or what I've seen other bands do. So I've seen them do touring with an orchestra, and then also they'll do tours where like they'll play an album a day. They'll do like 5 shows, 5 nights.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they do 1 album every night. So I mean, Muse has more than 5 albums, but maybe it's like the fans don't care about the later ones. Just do the first 5. First 5, 1 album per night. That would sell out immediately as well. So I'm just like coming up with these ideas, like for Muse to make more money. So Muse, just give me some of that, or at least let me work the merch table, and then let me hang out with you guys after. Like, I'll be happy.
Right. I'll share you with. I'll give you my ideas, and then sue you if you use them.
But at least let me work the merch table and hang out with you. I'll be happy. Like, oh
my gosh,
that would be amazing.
So cool. I would love to like hang out with the lead singer.
And then we can just like stay up all night getting drunk, creating new music with like random sounds, like just hitting random things. We'll create a whole new album just from that tour.
How fun it would be to pat your thighs and snap your fingers with Muse.
And then we'll call it Drunken Nights. That's the name of the album. It came from the Drunken Nights on tour.
Yeah, that's right. And then the next day you go to the university and preach atheism.
Yes. All right. So this has been a long journey. Sorry. I've been trying to keep it short. Hopefully, if any fans are still here, I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Let me know. I don't know, send a DM on Instagram, something. Let me know, hey, I made it through this whole thing. Like, that way, I don't know, you're just going to be special in my head forever.
Let me know who they are.
Yeah. And now we're going to listen to the last track, the Japanese bonus track, Fury.
Oh, you did it silently. I thought you were going woo, but you were muted.
I didn't want to hurt people's ears.
Oh yeah.
So did it sound like anyone to you? Maybe any
sounded
vibes?
Like Muse.
Okay.
Like that was the musiest song. Like if someone was like, "What does Muse sound like?" I'd probably play that song for them.
Oh, okay.
Be like, "Here's the bare bones right here."
All right. Another one about like religion and stuff. Yeah.
What did he say at the end? The end of the phrases, and we'll pray that there's no God to punish us. And
let me make sure I get the correct one.
Because it sounded like he said make a fuss.
Yeah, because I've heard like different ones. So, yeah, that's what it seems like.
And make a fuss.
Mm-hmm.
Pray that there's no God to make a fuss.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so there's different like interpretations. So one is that it indicates a skepticism concerning the ability of religion, basically like saying that God does not exist to affect change. And the other interpretation is that it's a statement of existential despair, where ironically freedom from divine judgment would also require the absence of divine blessing and answered prayer. It is a more nuanced understanding of a non-religious life. And the riff bears similarity with the bass guitar part of Rage Against the Machines Without a Face. So let's check it out.
I'm a huge Rage fan.
I definitely got a lot of Rage vibes from that song. So let's listen to Without a Face. See.
There it is, yeah.
Great musicians influence other great musicians. So yeah, that's the bonus track that lucky Japanese fans got, and I had to like download it because it wasn't on my copy of the album. And I always wonder like why do Japanese album versions always have extra bonus tracks? Do you know why? Have you noticed that or no?
No, I mean I don't. No, I haven't noticed that. I'd never heard that.
Okay, yeah. So I have, because I like looking at listening to bands their bonus tracks, B-sides, all this stuff, and I'm always like, oh, why is that song on that album but not on this one?
I think maybe it's just a way to be it's kind of a nod and a wink to the Japanese people,
Well, there's different reasons why, because I looked it up. So
okay.
Some is to discourage Japanese people from buying from other countries, I guess, maybe because it's cheaper if they buy from another country. So they're like, well, if you buy this one more expensive, you get this extra bonus track.
Oh,
so that's an incentive. So because I would
interesting.
Think, yeah, and it also, I mean, it's an incentive for me because I'm like, right. Oh, I have this one.
I know.
And now I want this, so now I have to buy 2 albums.
Yeah, it is an incentive for people here to buy it from Japan. Wow, that's cool. So it's Japan just culturally has the anniversary edition, built into the releases of their media.
Yeah,
bonus tracks.
All right. So since we are at the end, what do you think? Let me know, overall, your thoughts of the album, and then maybe if you have a favorite song. It might be hard, but let me know if you have one.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I kind of get from some of the new stuff I heard was kind of the grunginess and some of the more 90s elements. If you listen to their greatest hits, you don't really hear a whole lot of 90s influence, but especially with that one, we got Rage Against the Machine. That's super 90s, And then that other song that kind of sounded like garbage to me. It paints the band in a different light for me. It gives a new feel to the fuzz. Shines a new light on the fuzz. Favorite track? I think it's got to still be the "This Life's Too Good to Last."
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Blackout.
That's what I'm vibing on right now. Yeah.
Okay.
It's tough for me though because I love rock and rocking out, and I'm a drummer. Also, I like classical music. So it's hard to top Newborn for me because that guitar riff in there is so epic. But I guess I don't know. In terms of this album, I probably would still have to go with Stockholm Syndrome.
Oh, okay. It's one of my favorites too.
It's a great album.
Right. I actually had I love showing this album to people. On TikTok, there's this guy who, younger guy, and he was saying hey, let me recommend me albums to listen to. So I recommended this one, and he would record himself reacting to the albums. And he listened to my suggestion, and I was and then at the end he's okay, he's this is a great album, and he gave it a good score, and I'm yes, I converted someone.
yeah
Spreading the word.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking the time to listen to it, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Super fun. Yeah, listening to Muse, it's great.
So quite a atheist depressing journey. I don't know.
Right?
with a little bit of love in there. One love song.
Right. One love song, just to break up the the void.
Just so they won't be accused of being
void
like
of
so
nothing.
depressing and all about religion. It's like, hey, we have one love song in there. All right, so
Right.
shut up.
That's just interesting to me though, how I found myself in a place now in terms of like my beliefs and stuff that make Muse kind of a different band for me. Because I even liked them, you know, when I was a Christian. But now I like them even more because
But did you know, like, but you didn't listen to these songs when you were a Christian? Because I wonder what you would have thought.
No, I didn't listen to those songs, but I definitely would have thought that they needed Jesus. They just needed me to go to one of their concerts and save their souls.
You just throw Bibles at the stage. Read this.
A woman floating on the purple ball. You take one too. It's like, I can't throw that by.
You just go in there or like start passing them to fans. Here you go. You guys all need Jesus. I don't actually like this band. I just came to spread the word because you guys are in serious trouble. Okay.
Right. They're all just sitting there like, you will be an atheist by the end of this concert.
You need to all be saved. And you know, like if you go to a concert, most of the people are wearing black. So I mean, it's not like goth exactly, but like us, a lot of definitely black for sure. So might be scary for some Christian people. But a cool thing I like about like the Muse fan base is like it's mixed. It's all different ages, like men and women. Like I see half and half. Whereas like some artists is like mostly dudes, others is mostly girls. But Muse can bring like both of them together. It's so cool.
It really does, and I think that's a testament to just how kind of eclectically talented they are. There's just so many things going into their sound and style, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get to interview them on this podcast someday. Hello, Muse. This podcast is about you. You need to be on it.
Hello.
Hello.
If you want, we know he might be, you know.
I need to ask you all these questions. Okay. And then maybe we can create a song live. That'd be cool. On a podcast, create a song. You're going to see us create a song on podcast. That'd be amazing.
A digital song.
Do you know the song
awesome.
Telstar by the Tornadoes?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so
Sing
it's an instrumental surf rock song, so I can't really sing it. But yeah, it's like you've heard it, I don't know, but it's a really cool like surf rock song, and basically like Matt Bellamy's dad, he was in that band. I think he was a guitarist or bassist, I don't remember. But like yeah, he was in the band, so he does have a musical, you know, family member. And I love the song, and there's Muse's song Knights of Sidonia has kind of at the beginning has like that kind of surf rock kind of like feel, and so some kind of say it's like an homage to Telstar, the song. But I always want to ask Muse, like, why have you not covered that song? That's like from your dad's band. Like, cover it. That would be amazing, because they covered another instrumental song from like I think maybe the 60s or something. It's called Popcorn. And it's so that's pretty much the song. It's called Popcorn, and Muse covered it. They did a cover of that song, and I'm like, okay, if you did a cover of that song, why can't you cover your dad's song? So
that'd be a good question.
I want to ask them, and if they ever cover it, I need to be there live and
it's your first question to Muse.
Yes.
They're like, hey, it's good to be here. So why do you hate your dad?
Yeah, come on. At least like, I mean, while he's still here, let's go cover it. Have him be there in the audience. It would be such a cute moment. Like, you need to have that moment. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. So, yeah,
that would be great.
If anyone is listening to this and talks to Muse, please tell them to cover Telstar and have their dad be there, or Matt's dad.
I imagine they've talked about it. I wonder if like maybe dad doesn't want them to or something like that.
Aww.
You know? It's like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. He seems like a nice man. So just from pictures I've seen. So yeah. But this podcast has gone on quite a bit. So before we wrap, Parker, you know, I don't know if people if you want to promote other stuff you do. I know you do other stuff, or any social media or anything. This is your
I'm so
time.
old school. If you're out in the Chesapeake, Virginia Beach area, come find me, do some comedy sometime. That's about it. Otherwise, I'm too much of an old soul. I have like an Instagram, but I posted like cicadas on it or something like that.
Okay.
And the last time I used it was like 3 years ago. So
okay. So yeah, if you ever see him doing stand up, go tell him he's awesome, and then talk about Muse, and yeah, tell him, hey, I heard you on the podcast about Muse. And you can find the podcast on Instagram at Musecast Pod, the YouTube channel Musecast Podcast. And yeah, let me if you have any Muse covers that you would like me to play on the podcast, because I like to feature covers. Please let me know. Slide into the DMs for that reason, not for other stuff. So, and Muse, if you're listening, please, I would love to have you on the podcast. And also let me know if you made it to the end of the podcast. Like, I would love you forever if you did. You're awesome. Let me know by using the word chapstick. If you use the word chapstick, I'll know that you listened to the whole thing. And also, chapstick, please sponsor the podcast. Dun, dun.
all right, Muse, come on this podcast. We got
I have
chapstick.
used this chapstick throughout the podcast. So, hello. Please sponsor me. Thank you. The podcast, not me like a child, like sponsor this child. No, sponsor a podcast. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Parker, for being on again.
Thank you for having me.
And let us know what your if this is your favorite album or not. I know this is kind of a debate. Some people are really into Origin of Symmetry as their favorite. Some are into Absolution. I'm more into Absolution just because, this.
I think I gotta rework my whole understanding of Muse at this point. Really kind of go.
And
back
you have to listen
it.
to the symphony, 3-part symphony.
I know. See, I got a lot to do. I got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, that's homework. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time on the Musecast podcast. Bye.
Bye, guys.